I hope everybody is having a great day so far, and that's despite this sea of red that we're seeing in the crypto market. We're kind of seeing a rinse and repeat of yesterday. We're seeing, similar things bring the market down. We're seeing similar news. We're seeing similar players actually assist in the market being red, and we're going to talk about all that in this video. And I do want to discuss also these record levels we are currently sitting at. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So I've seen a lot of the comments basically showing that a lot of this similar narrative and sentiment and emotions are carrying over to today, and rightfully so, right? We're seeing red once again, and what we've been getting was long leverage liquidations as the day has gone on. In fact, it got so bad to the point that we saw $210 million worth of liquidations in just a 60-minute period. That is a lot in a very short period of time. And the news that actually caused this to, in fact, take place was news surrounding the US and China. Now, earlier this morning, Donald Trump had basically come out and said that China was not in good faith, essentially participating in these negotiations. They said they would do something. They were not doing that. And what the US announced that they were going to do was actually impose sanctions on China, additional sanctions. And this caused a stir in the market. We started to see some red, and it basically snowballed into essentially a shitstorm, right? Into these big liquidations. But what really did not help us is that there were some large players with big leverage positions participating just like they did yesterday. In fact, James Wynn, the one who we had talked about earlier today, this $100 million bet, opened up another Bitcoin long position this morning, and lo and behold, was liquidated once again in that quick wick down. So this position was tens of millions of dollars, and maybe he just needs to open up a short position so we can move the opposite way. Just, wishful thinking on my part here. But what we're seeing a lot of is just retail reacting to the same crap over and over again. And what I really want to point to is the fact that large entities are not reacting in the same way that retail does. And I've gotten into a couple of these discussions with people, in the comments and on Twitter. And I think people are falling for something that isn't really happening, isn't really there. Yes, we're obviously seeing red in the market, but I've talked many times about the fact that we will see retracements when we are going through pumps. And frankly, right now, where this is a little bit different than what we've seen in the past is we have been in an ascending market since the early part of April. Now that brings me to this, and this is a very important point of reference. We are currently sitting at about $147 billion worth of open interest in the crypto market. For a point of reference, this is more than we saw back during the February 2nd, February 3rd market-wide liquidation event, the largest liquidation event in crypto history. Do I think that is happening now? No, I don't think that's happening now. The reason why is we were still going through so much crap at the time. We were still so early in tariff news, and we had so much uncertainty is the best way to put it. So much uncertainty from the market that it caused this kind of snowball of events to take place. This is what caused retail to freak out and dump and drop and all these things, right? And that is why right now we're not seeing that similar retracement in the market. Yes, we've been red, right? But if you think about it, we're not getting these quick wicks down of 25, 30%. That's not happening. And it's because we have more conviction in the market. We've been in an ascending versus a descending market. Large entities are accumulating, institutional money buying, whales are buying. People are understanding the opportunity that is here right now. Something I can't pull up in front of me right now, but I wanted to reference as well is when we look at that Bitcoin or that global liquidity M2 chart, we talked about a possible retracement in terms of BTC right around this time frame. It's on the charts. You guys can look for yourself. Maybe I'll pull it up later in a different video, but these things aren't really, again, surprising. I'm not really surprised that there's shakeouts, that there's red in the market, that retail's being reactionary. That's the nature of the beast, right? We see a lot of volatility as time goes on, even in times where we should be starting to pump and people should be getting excited. You will see times where it feels like all the life is being sucked out of the market. And then we get a violent move to the upside. I'm not saying that's today. I'm not saying that's tomorrow. But again, when we look back historically, even on this run that we've been on, we've been in similar moments like we're in right now. And within a couple days, we're off and running again. All right, that's what I want to remind people of. That's why I don't get too high. That's why I don't get too low. That's why I said before, I wasn't ready to call this the Bitcoin breakout or a major break moment in the crypto market. It's because there will be times like this where they try to shake people out. So the best thing I can say is that just make sure you are prepared. Do what's best for you. If you need to sell and move on and that's what's best for your mental health, go right ahead and do that. All right, me personally, I understand that these times will come. I've done a great job of preparing my bag for these big moves that are coming in the market. And you're not going to stop adoption. You're not stopping institutional money. You're not stopping governments and enterprises from continuing to add to their bag. Because guess what? They're doing it right now. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below. But have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.